Hello everyone, Brandon Fink here, father of Khali Fink, the 5-year-old girl who was killed when Wisconsin Senator Janet Bewley failed to yield when pulling onto a highway while on a phone interview the day after cataract surgery, something that everybody that gets a driving restriction for. And even though that is just being denied and lied about, she's just the first person to never get any at all. She was actually driving herself to the appointment that you go to get cleared to drive when this happened. And even though she claims that her vision was just perfectly fine, this is an appointment that she still went to after missing it because of the accident whenever the cops released her. So, either she wasn't that sure, or the thing that makes the most sense to me, she wanted to make sure that this baby of an eye doctor was going to cover for her. You can find articles where the police state that she was distracted by this phone call. It was not just a, hey honey, can you pick up some milk phone call. No, it was an in-depth political interview about who she would be supporting in an upcoming election, something she would have very clearly been heavily concentrating on. So it's that fun time of year where everybody's making New Year's resolution and going out and partying and all that, and this is what I do. I sit here alone in my trailer in what used to be my daughter's playroom and think about, first of all, what people like Bewley was probably up to, going out to some fancy party and probably insider trading. That's another little fun tidbit for you. I actually had somebody reach out and say they knew the owner of the towing company where Bewley's car was taken after the accident. And while she went to her appointment, apparently her husband went and was trying to get the laptop out of her car. First thing right there after the accident. So that just wow, what was on that laptop? I'd really love to know. Other than that, I sit here and go through Reels and TikToks and comment my story on anybody that has a larger following than me, political figures, anybody that I think might be interested in the story if they'd actually see the comment, as well as make my own little videos like I am here. And I've also been filling out a lot of forms to go on different podcasts and such. If you know of any podcasts or YouTube channels that have the apply to be a guest form, please do not hesitate to send me that link. I've been filling out every single one I get. My New Year's resolution is exposure. This stuff is absolutely horrific to talk and think about. And it's been a couple years and I'm finally to the point I can get through a minute or two without screaming or crying. So this year I am going to try and be at this a lot harder than what I have been. It absolutely kills me inside, but it's something I have to do. I can't just sleep without knowing that I'm at least trying to do something whenever nothing was done. Content creation was something that I actually started with my daughter. We started a little art project. Her little chalkboard was the whole inspiration behind it. It's a whole other story. And then from that, I ended up doing a little YouTube series where I showed other people's art off. It was oftentimes stuff that she'd picked, and any time that I recorded, she was always right off the side of the camera watching Daddy cord. So that being said, anything I can do to get my name out there and will hopefully help get my story out there. I just signed up to do the TikTok Creator Studio where you can collaborate with different brands and stuff and shops where you can help sell stuff. All that stuff, even if it's not directly related to my Justice for Khali content. Again, if it gets me out there, gets me in front of more people, gets me in front of more brands, then I'm willing to do it. Whatever it's going to take to get this out there in front of everybody. In doing this, I truly hope that eventually I have a lawyer come forward, one with some big old cojones, trying to make a name for themselves for whatever, already has a name that is a top shark, something like that, that wants to take this case on and just go scorched earth with me on everything. I do have a GoFundMe set up to help hopefully get the story out there and cover any fees that might come with all that. Pretty much just support myself while I'm trying to do all this. So if you have the means, please donate to that. Yeah, there's a long list of people that really deserve to be taken down a peg. Bewley, D.A. Meany, the Ashland police who they tried to hide her involvement from the second it happened. Violi's lawyers, who straight threatened me to make my life hell if I kept telling the truth, as if that was even possible after what had already happened. My own lawyers, Christine Zaremski-Young, Edgar Snyder, who just ignored the hell out of me as I just screamed and threw red flag after red flag and sat here and strung me along with lies, giving me the whole, oh, I just can't imagine as a parent what you're going through, and we're going to do everything we can to get justice for your daughter, and then just blatantly stab me in the back. Violi's baby of an eye doctor. There's just so many people that were involved with this that it just keeps me up at night knowing that absolutely nothing came of none of this to any of them. And sadly, even if that don't happen, I feel like it's the least I can do to try and, like I said, exposure this year. I want to get this out there in front of as many faces as I possibly can. If the system's not going to ever do crap about this, which is what it's looking like, even though, I mean, again, I'm trying. If you have any ideas, send them my way. I wrote the White House. I would love to get this in front of Trump somehow. It would be amazing. Elon Musk, anybody, big name people that might actually help do something about this stuff. It would be absolutely incredible. But I feel like the least I can do so that I can sleep at night is try my best to make it so these people can't poke their heads out of their hidey holes without being met with nothing but disgust and shame. I know Violi especially, like, she was a political figure. She was very active on social medias and stuff like that. And ever since this happened, she just took that retirement on the taxpayer's dime and poof, disappeared, has been completely missing media blackness ever since. So please follow me, help me boost whatever content I'm coming up with here to help get this story out there. Reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out. Send me those forms to be a guest on whatever podcast or YouTube channel you might think would cover this if they saw it. Whatever you can think of. If you have a friend that's a news reporter or anything like that, please send my videos to them. I would love to talk to absolutely anyone. No audience is too small. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching my video. Happy New Year's, and please help me make 2026 the year that I get some justice for Khali.